He's a seasoned mortgage professional who is turning heads with his unique and authentic approach and has a strong passion for finding better ways to communicate with his clients and partners. I'm delighted to welcome Alex McFayden of the Mortgage Pug and Dominion Lending Centers on Small Talk. Alex McFayden of the Mortgage Pug and Dominion Lending Centers, welcome to Small Talk.
Hey, Javed, thanks for having me, my friend. I don't have the real guy here right now, but hope this is a good substitute.
That's a great substitute. Thanks for doing that. Now, folks, I want to introduce you to Alex McFayden. Now, for those who don't know Alex McFayden, he is a Canadian mortgage broker. He's in Canada. He works alongside, his brand is the Mortgage Pug. If you don't know what that's all about, go online, look him up on LinkedIn, all the social media channels. You will see what his whole brand equity experiences, and then he works for a very large organization here in Canada called the Dominion Lending Center. So Alex, I've got a few things I wanted to have you share with our audience today. Specifically, I want to focus in on this whole customer experience, and it's all about, from your perspective, a very different way that you engage with not only your customers, your prospects, your referral sources, and you mentioned your partners. I want you to share that experience that you have and you've created with your organization. But I also want you to touch base on specifically video marketing. And folks, you will see on screen, Alex recently got a pretty cool award, I would say, or even a massive recognition by a software company called BombBomb. And we'll have it on the screen, and we'll have a link to that document for you to take a look at. And so, Alex, if you can touch on that, that would be amazing, because this is going to be an amazing conversation, folks, around customer experience and then leveraging some levels of software, in this case, video.
Absolutely. No, thanks for leading into that, Javed. As you brought in right off the bat, customer experience. It's kind of funny, as we got into this, or when I started doing this initially, it was because I had a mortgage broker of my own. And I think truly, whenever we're starting a business or working in any capacity that's related to clients, customers, B2B, B2C, we have to actually change roles, and we have to put ourselves in the position of the client. Because ultimately, you ask yourself the same question every day: how do I want to feel, or how do I want to be made felt? And that's how we kind of got into our methodology and our strategy around how we work with our clients, our partners, and our business partners in this situation.
So in terms of the customer experience, before we went to record, you talked about, having it fun, and you leverage different ways of, I guess, what they call touch points and increasing that brand equity for yourself and the Mortgage Pug. Help us understand what that means from your perspective.
Right. So, right off the bat, when you talk about the Mortgage Pug, I think that's where it leads into it. Traditionally, banking is very dry. You could probably agree with that. Recently we've seen some changes in the big banks and how they advertise, but let's be honest, you walk into a bank, you get that kind of dull feeling, not very exciting. And I think they're kind of made to feel like they have this corporate structure. So the people that work there feel the same way. We don't want our clients to have that experience. In fact, we understand that lending can be stressful. It can be an emotional time. And so the least that we can do, of course, while taking it seriously, is to have a little bit of fun and smile. And what better way to do that than of course, show a little bit of who we are and our personality. So that initially is, I guess, our client's introduction to us. And kind of gives you that smile, that laugh, that who is this guy? What's going on here? As far as our customer experience, it always comes to a point, or starts at a point, of authenticity. Again, starting with the pug and that feeling. The next thing is looking at, okay, who are we? We're not going to try and be someone we're not. How do we want to be communicated with? And so after kind of considering, how I personally wanted to be communicated with, we kind of set out on a path to change things a little bit, which led us into the conversation, as you mentioned, about video. I started implementing video maybe 3-4 years ago in the business, in our model, and a lot of it came back to showing people who I was. I felt that even though picking up a phone can be effective, you can have a great conversation. Once someone actually sees who you are and gets an understanding of what you're trying to achieve, they can see the emotion, the smiles, the conversation. They, I guess, recognize from a more personal level, that you're actually speaking to them. It's not a template. It's nothing of that nature. It's all about having that real connection. So I guess that's kind of where it started. And we've only built it from there. So I have a wonderful team that works with me, and together we sit down every single Friday, and we actually have a meeting about what worked, what went well, what can we do better, how can we make people happier. And that's actually one part of our conversation every single week. What can we do to make you guys happier? What do we got to get rid of that's not working right now? We do little things like making sure that if our client wants to be communicated with via text or phone only or video or all, we're making sure to touch those specific points. I was telling you before, everything from we like to stick to our personality, and we send out little cards throughout the process at the different milestones with funky little gifts. And I won't give it all away right now, just in case someone calls us and wants to work together. But we give away funky little gifts that our clients are always surprised to see, always happy to get from us, and unexpected. And that kind of goes along the way. I think a good level of service in lending, good service, getting an approval, and good interest rates and so forth is always at a bare minimum expected. It's what you do, as you mentioned earlier, the client experience. It's how you make people feel, and the unexpected things that can kind of get you to that next level. And that goes with our partners too. Simple example, when someone is introduced to us or they email us, obviously we will phone them, but over and above that, we'll send them an email introduction with a video speaking directly to them about their specific situation, so that they feel and understand that we're looking at them and their situation. There's no canned email responses, no nothing, no autoresponders. Everything is directed to them.
So let me just recap a few things. So folks, for you that are watching the show through this show, you've been seeing Alex's contact information. It's on the screen throughout. Please feel free to continue this conversation with Alex. The information he's provided, please reach out to him. Now, I just want to recap a few things, just learnings here with Alex, folks. It sounds like clearly there is segmentation going on because you are communicating to people in different ways. So you've got people segmented in a variety of ways. You're upping your game in terms of human communication by video. I said it sounds like, because we're using video quite a bit as certainly as well as you are. And from our experience, video really brings out that human factor. It really rehumanizes, that digital communication. But also, from what I'm hearing here, and just listening to, you're not negating what people would call the old way of communication. Thank you cards. You're actually sending out cards. So folks, there's multiple ways to up your customer experience. And I really love this. And I call it the human factor scale. What else can we do to, take that human scale to that next level? And having those powwows, those meetings every Friday to figure out, hey, what went well? What's our area for growth? And what can we leverage on? So when you're watching this particular segment with Alex, folks, please reach out to him. If there's something you want to ask specifically, please feel free. Now, I've got another question regarding the video. Are you finding, Alex, with video, are you finding that is certainly more, is it easier to do? Is it more satisfying? Like, why are you doing so much video to the point where the software company BombBomb actually recognized you as #1, and I think the only Canadian who topped the list of 25? What are you doing with video that people can either get some insight from you and understand?
Well, I'm going to quickly just go out and give a shout out to Jason Roy in Edmonton, because he was on that list as well. He's Canadian as well. So I got to make sure to make that point out there. Thank you for that as well. Why do we do a lot of video? I think because, again, going back to the emotional aspect and just how much I can communicate in that timeline and the way that I can communicate it is more effective. So initially I started doing video as a way to educate. I really enjoyed the educational aspect of this job, like being able to teach people, whether it's something simple as how to buy your first home or how to buy your second or third property. I really enjoy the teaching aspect of that. So that's kind of where it started. From there, it kind of moved into if you will, the BombBomb, so another plug for BombBomb and their approach, the ability to one-to-one email. Originally, it was picking up my phone after a meeting and sending a face-to-face video, letting them know that I am there for them, and that I appreciated them coming in and trusting me. So the next level of that was BombBomb, and the way that you can actually email to someone and give them something specific and have them see that you mean it, right? So going back to that. So whether that's, it could be an apology. An apology through a video is actually some of the most effective way to do it. And that's a big one that I learned as well. It could be a congratulations on someone's new baby, our clients. We stay in touch with them as well, right? It could be just a quick update on where their file is at during the process. So the one-to-ones are important because you're speaking to someone directly, as opposed to typing in an email where I believe the emotional factor can be mistaken. I've had in the past an email that I've written out and it was meant to be a positive email taken as a negative. So and how many times, if anybody's been there, and I'm sure somebody on this phone has been, you're texting your girlfriend or your wife or something like that, and then all of a sudden it turns into an argument. You're like, what's going on? I thought that was a good thing. Well, that's why we got the video, right? So do the video calls. You know, the other factor, which is more recent, is kind of the on-the-go stuff. So Instagram stories. Adapted that to my business about a year ago, approximately. Just kind of talking to people about what we did today, what's going on. You know, I'll celebrate wins. You know, yesterday we were able to approve 3 clients in 3 circumstances, and I could bring people through what that looked like and what that sounded like. Again, it's kind of an opportunity for them to get actually behind the scenes, whereas this or another, I guess, pre-filmed video would be a great way to educate and explain. That's a way to kind of show the backside of our business and who we are and share, which I think is what people want to know these days. Who are these people, right? Who are you? So does that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. So again, folks, you've got Alex's contact information there on the screen. Please reach out to him. Continue this conversation. We will have links to a few of Alex's information, including that report. And Jason, yes, congratulations to you too, my friend. Number 2 Canadian, that's awesome. 2 Canadians making that top list. So that's amazing. But, you know, so you're watching this, play this back. There's some really intriguing insights that Alex has shared with you when it comes to customer, not only engagement, but the experience. And then the key here that I've learned today, Alex, in our conversations, that it's not about selling. You're not selling anything. You're sharing experiences. You're sharing content. You're documenting, like Gary Vaynerchuk always says, document, don't create, and loving that approach. So I've got one last question for you here, and that is, if you had an opportunity, my friend, to have a small talk conversation with anyone, living or past, who would it be?
So as you are aware, you asked me this question here just a few minutes ago, and I had to think and scrap. And the really funny thing about it is I wanted to stay on point because I don't think I have enough capacity in my brain to think of all the different people right now. And I didn't have a direct answer. But when I thought about the content of this, of what you do and this conversation, I actually clued in, and I was thinking Gary Vaynerchuk. I'd love to sit down with that guy and just I know he does a million podcasts and a lot of information, but just to hear his particular, I guess, responses to a lot of what we do and why he does what he does. I think that would still, no matter how much information he puts out there, I think that would be still a very intriguing conversation.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, he's an amazing, that's a great answer. He's an amazing individual and done quite a bit. For folks, if you don't know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, you're probably living in a cave or something, but look him up. He's an amazing individual. He's got his own style, but he's an amazing individual. Alex McFayden from the Mortgage Pug and Dominion Lending Centers, thank you so much for being on Small Talk.
Thanks, Javed. Really appreciate it, my friend. I look forward to seeing this episode, and hopefully it gives someone some value. I'm sure we got a lot more that we could talk about for the next couple of hours. I appreciate everything that you do for the marketing community, and obviously being a huge proponent of video. Making big waves, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you soon. Thank you to Alex McFayden of the Mortgage Pug and Dominion Lending Centers for joining me on Small Talk. You can also listen to the show as part of our podcast series. Now it's your turn. Please comment, subscribe, and share. If you've got a topic you'd like to discuss on the show, please give me a call or send me an email. We'll talk with you next time.